All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into a really fascinating text called sound.pdf. It gets into this profound, maybe even forgotten idea for the incredibly noisy world we all live in. It's called the law of silence. So, let's jump right in. I want to start with a question that I think pretty much every single one of us can relate to. Why are our minds so tired all the time? You know that feeling, right? Like your brain is just running a marathon that has no finish line.
Well, the text offers a pretty direct diagnosis for this. It's not just in your head. We are, quite literally, under a constant assault of noise. And it's not just from the world around us, but also from that nonstop chatter inside our own minds. So yeah, it's no wonder we feel so completely drained.
Okay, so let's dig into that for our first section, this idea of constant noise. What is the actual cost of living in this state of perpetual sound?
And here's where we hit a fascinating paradox the source brings up. We've gotten so used to noise that when it's finally quiet, what rushes in to fill the void is the chaos of our own thoughts. For a lot of people, that inner monologue is so relentless that actual silence becomes, well, agonizing. It becomes something you want to avoid. And this leads to a really crucial point from the text. This isn't just about being tired or feeling distracted. The real consequence of all this endless noise is that we've actually lost the connection to who we really are. We've forgotten a deeper, much more peaceful part of ourselves.
But look, it's not all bad news. The text doesn't just diagnose the problem and leave us there, it offers a solution. And that brings us to section 2, which introduces this powerful and maybe forgotten principle, the law of silence.
So what is this law of silence? Well, according to the source, it's not some empty void, it's not a state of nothingness. It's described as a way to return to our source, a vast, restorative, endless ocean of life. And this is where true wisdom, that gut feeling kind of wisdom, actually comes from.
So this really presents us with two different paths, a fork in the road. We can treat silence like an enemy, something to be filled with constant distraction, which the text says leads to agony. Or we can learn to embrace it like a friend, and that's the path that leads to real liberation and peace. And the thing is, the text says that choice, it's completely up to us.
I absolutely love this metaphor. Finding this inner silence doesn't mean the storms of life just disappear. The chaos is still going to be out there. But you find a place inside yourself, the calm eye of the hurricane, where you can just be, in total peace, completely untouched by all the swirling winds of daily life. Now, to help us wrap our heads around how we get to this inner world, the text brings up a really fascinating scientific fact. What we think of as reality is only what we perceive. But our physical eyes can only see a tiny, tiny fraction, just 1% of the actual light spectrum. It kind of suggests there's this huge unseen world all around us and within us.
And that scientific fact connects directly to this mystical quote. It implies that if we can learn to see with a different kind of eye, an inner one, we can tap into a reality that is so much bigger, a whole inner world that we're normally just blind to. So this brings us to the really practical part. How do we actually open this inner door? Section 3 is all about the how-to.
Yeah, this is the question, isn't it? It all sounds great in theory, but what's the first step? What's the secret key that's going to unlock all this inner calm?
And the answer, according to the source, is is shockingly simple. The key, the doorway, the big secret technique, it has been with you every single moment of your life. It's your own breath. That's it. That's the technique.
The text is totally aware of how that sounds. It perfectly anticipates our skepticism. It basically says, look, your mind is going to say that's way too easy. The secret to life has to be more complicated than that. But the source just insists, no, it isn't. The power is in paying attention to the one thing we do constantly, but never ever notice, our breathing.
To illustrate where this really simple practice can take you, the text shares a classic Zen parable. It's a story that basically serves as a map for this whole inner journey. So the parable is about a farmer looking for his lost ox, and the ox is a symbol for our true nature.
It starts with, well, starting the search, when he realizes something important is missing from his life. Then he's finding the footprints. Those are those first little glimpses of a quiet mind. Next up is the hard part, taming the ox. That's the whole process of learning to manage that wild, chattering mind. And then finally, he gets to returning to the source, where he becomes one with his true nature, totally in harmony.
All right, so after all that, what's the ultimate payoff? Why does any of this matter? Section 5 lays out the profound benefits you get from finding this calm inside the storm.
I mean, the changes the source talks about are transformative. By practicing this inner silence, you don't just feel a little calmer. You actually start to live life to its fullest. You find this natural harmony with everything. Your awareness just expands, and every single day starts to feel fresh and new again, not just another repeat of yesterday.
And this is such a crucial point to understand. This is not about becoming a monk and hiding away from society. It's the exact opposite. The whole goal is to become a beacon of life, to be fully engaged and present, and to bring that inner peace right into the heart of your everyday life.
The text really brings it all home with this one powerful idea. You have this incredible inner potential, this connection to the source of all life. But it's a partnership. You have free will. That power is there to guide you, but you're the one who has to get in the driver's seat and actually turn the key.
And so, that's the final thought the source leaves us with. The car, this incredible vehicle for experiencing a deeper, more peaceful, more alive version of life, is sitting right there in your inner garage. The only question left is, are you going to take it for a spin?